Welcome everybody. It's October and it's oyster season in Virginia Chesapeake Bay. So today it's time for Oysters Rockefeller for lunch. Here's all we're going to need and how easy it is to put it together. So of course we're going to start with a dozen fresh oysters, and there's two ways that we can clean these. First thing we need to do though is just rinse them off. These are pretty clean already though. But we're just going to rinse them in cold water, and then you can take a oyster knife or shucking knife, pry it in here and pry them open. But since these are going to be cooked anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to bring a little bit of water to a boil in a saucepan, put the oysters in just until they crack open, and then we're ready for them. Be a lot easier to clean them. Then we're going to use the rock salt here, and that's mainly just, we're going to put that on the base of the pan because we're going to need to bake these for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to use about half a bag of spinach, several ounces, about 3.5 ounces of plain breadcrumbs, 2 ounces of grated Ramano cheese, and please use the blocks, not the already pre-grated, if you can. 4 ounces of heavy cream, an ounce of white wine, 3 green onions or shallots, whatever you can find, and a 1/4 stick of butter. And then salt and pepper to taste. And while I'm waiting for our water to come to a boil, and we're not going to fill the pan, we want to basically steam these, not boil them. And we want these to be fairly small. We don't want big chunks of onion in this. So we're going to mince it. There we go. Let's check our water. The water's to a nice rolling boil. Let's throw in our oysters. Cap them and keep an eye on them. About 3 minutes. All right, let's check this. Oh yeah, see, they're opening up. We don't want them to totally cook here. So then I rinsed them off in cold water, added a little ice so that they'd be cool enough for us to finish shucking. And while that's cooling, we'll saute our onions and cook our spinach. We want to just lightly saute the onions. We don't want them to be like French onion and cooked heavy. Just enough to soften them a little bit. And we're going to be ready pretty soon, so I'm going to turn the oven on to 400. Now there's our onions. We'll add our spinach. And I'm just going to put a dash of wine in this. I don't want to add any water to it. There we go. So our spinach is cooked. We're going to put that on the cutting board and chop that up nice and fine. Add our cream. And now we'll cook this till it starts to thicken a little bit. As the cream reduces, it will thicken. All right, that looks just about right. Let's set that aside, and now we're going to shuck the rest of our oysters and set them out on our tray on a bed of the rock salt. So now we'll get our pan ready, and the rock salt is really just to kind of help hold the oysters in place while they're baking. So let's start breaking these apart. And I'm going to save the shells for next time. After you open them, break it loose, place them on the tray. Now when you look at these, you see I did overcook a few of them. That got a little too done. But look at how nice these are. So all we need to do now is just top them. And we're going to bake them for about 10 minutes or so, just enough so that the cheese is melted. Add a little bit of breadcrumb. Our cheese. Now I'll get these finished off and we'll pop them in the oven. Now we're ready to pop them in the oven. So 12 minutes later, we're ready to serve them up. And we can garnish this with a little bit of parsley in here or a nice lemon wedge. But let's just take a look at what's inside. I'm just going to flip that over. It's a little hot to eat yet. Look at that. So there we have it. Great recipe, very tasty, and easy to prepare. So until next time, bon appetit.